Hello and welcome to week 4 of Conscious Self-Care using Wellfulness. My name is Roff Farrar and yes, this is week 4, so hopefully you've had a chance to look at the workbook, or this might not quite make sense. Basically this week is all about making rituals within our routines. So if you haven't managed to check out the workbook yet, go ahead and go and do that now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then welcome to the Psychology's Life Leap Club. This is an online course which is exclusively available to Psychology subscribers. So if you want access to the full course and to the workbooks, then head over to psychologies.co.uk, subscribe to the magazine, and you will get instant access to this course and about 30 other amazing courses. So if you have done your workbook, then it sounds like homework, doesn't it? It's not homework, it's lovely. But this week we're talking all about how to create more meaning in our day-to-day, and doing that by attaching meaningful rituals to the routines that we already have in place in our day. So one thing that a lot of us do is make tea. We're all tea drinkers, aren't we? Or coffee, or whatever hot drink it is, even a cold drink. So you have a lemon water on waking, or even juice, whatever it is. Most of us are having some kind of beverage during the day. So I love particularly to drink herbal tea, and this is a really fun one to do with herbal tea. So maybe it's something fun to try if you haven't before. So we're going to work on the ritual that you worked on in your workbook, and see if we can attach it to a tea making routine and turn it into a ritual. So in the workbook, I asked you to think about what you wanted to create in your life and write that down, those kind of like feelings and emotions, and then turn that into a more condensed phrase. So one of the ones that I use at the moment is you are worthy. So you are worthy, you're good enough, essentially. That's one of the ones that I use a lot. So you are good enough. And it's nice to kind of attach that phrase to things that we're doing. And one of the things I have done more recently is buy myself a self-worth plant. And she's beautiful, and she sits at the top of my stairs, so I walk past her every day. That's part of my routine, is to walk past her every day, and obviously I have to water her. So every day when I walk past her, I say hello self-worth, and when I water her, I visualise myself not only watering my self-worth plant, but actually watering and nurturing my self-worth. So that's a little bonus for you there if you wanted to go out and get yourself a plant and attach that kind of mantra or meaning onto it. So that's kind of one that I'm really working with at the moment, and one of my favourite things to do is use tea drinking and tea making essentially as a real kind of pause in my day to have a mindful moment. Because I'm doing it anyway, it's not like I have to figure out kind of fitting in and slotting in how to be mindful during my day. That can feel really overwhelming and exhausting when we start on our self-care kind of journey, or even if we're following a self-care, a path of self-care and well-being already. We can often feel like we have a massive to-do list, and then we're adding on a massive to-do list of self-care practices as well, and that can be really overwhelming. So I really like the idea of finding things that we're already doing and attaching meaning to them, and using them to create moments in our day that we kind of didn't have before, even though they were there anyway. So yes, making tea is one of those things that we tend to do. So we're going to together do a little mindful tea making ritual, and then attach a mantra onto the kind of practice of that. So the first step is to get your tea bag. It can be a normal tea bag, it doesn't matter. And really, it might be in a packet, it might not. It might be the box that you're picking up, it might be the jar that you're taking it out of, but really thinking about what that tea bag's in and just noticing it. So this is lovely. It feels really soft. Has a really nice texture to it. It's kind of crunchy, and I can feel the tea bag in there. It feels like a little present waiting to be opened. And yeah, it's got a nice sound to it. With a jar, it might be that you clink it a couple of times. I like that. Clink it a couple of times. I am good enough. Ding, ding, ding. I am good enough. And just really thinking about how you can start to, creatively attach your mantra, whatever it is you want to create, whatever it is you want to kind of nurture in your life. How can you start to attach that? So what is it that's kind of the tea bags in, and can you kind of do that? So attach that meaning. So maybe when I tear it open, I'm tearing open a little present for myself because I'm good enough. That's nice. That feels nice to me, So checking in with how it feels as well. How does that feel? If it feels naff and it doesn't feel fun, you're like, well, no, I don't want to do that, then that's fine. That's fine. Let it go. But yeah, I quite like the idea of the tea bag being a little present to myself and showing myself that I'm good enough to have a tea bag. That's nice. So I'm going to take it out and really just, kind of feel it and have this mindful practice around it. So again, this is kind of like another little scrunchy wrapper with some more wonderfulness inside, another little present of the actual tea inside. And I can't help but notice, oh my goodness, it smells lovely. This is elderberry and echinacea with elderflower. Oh, it smells like sweets, so yummy. So really inhaling that, and if I'm thinking about being good enough, then this really is a treat to kind of smell. When do you ever smell your tea bags? Like really smell them. Oh, that's really lovely. So just noticing, what can I smell the elderberry? Can I smell the elderflower? I don't know what echinacea smells like, but can I smell it? And just being curious. I might not be able to. I might be like, oh, I have no idea. But it's the practice. It's the doing of that is the magic. So it's bringing us to this present moment. The smelling of the tea bag brings us right into the now, which is magical. So once I've kind of really, this tag's nice as well. So once I've really kind of taken a moment to appreciate and be curious about my tea bag, I'm going to put it in the glass or the mug. And even that is just such a routine thing, isn't it? How can it be a ritual, that placing? Like a setting of an intention, a setting down. I set my intention to feel good enough, to know I am good enough, to be worthy. I set that intention down. That to me is a ritual. If I could do that every single time I place a tea bag in a mug, I set my intention to remind myself that I'm good enough, or I set my intention of running every day because I'm invested in my health. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just that setting of that intention. So bringing ritual meaning into something that is so routine. Okay, so we're going to add the hot water. And again, how can I do this in a very mindful way? Boiling the kettle is very, very mindful, just watching it go through the transition of cold to hot water, watching the kettle, listening to the different sounds that it makes, watching the kind of the water in the little window here start to bubble and fizz and then eventually boil into kind of chaos. And what does that sound like? And do I start to, at what point does the steam start to come out of the top of the kettle? It's all very mindful, being in the moment, allowing myself to be immersed by this thing that is meaningless, but the present moment is not meaningless. The present moment is all that we have. It's the only thing that's real. So when you think about it like that, that's this kettle boiling in that moment is my whole entire reality, and nothing else matters. Nothing else is part of my reality, because this is the only thing I'm experiencing. Not the future, not the past, not how much work I've got to do when I go and sit down on my laptop. Right now, this is all there is. So that's kind of profound as well, isn't it? So yes, noticing and being curious about the kettle boiling in a mindful way, in a mindful manner, and then pouring, not just chucking, throwing it in there, but really pouring it and watching as the tea bag starts to let the herbal infusion combine with the water. So here I'm just watching it, there's this like pink pigment which was coming out of the tea bag, and it still is here. And can you see the water now is this different colour? It was clear as it came out. Even small, just noticing small things like that, things that we take for granted, but really noticing them. Noticing how the mug begins to feel hot. How actually, I don't want to hold it there anymore. That's too hot for me. I'm going to take care of myself and hold it in a way that is nurturing. So at this point, we can start to do lovely things like swirl the tea bag around and watch the water get darker and darker with whatever's in the tea bag, or the coffee or whatever, watching the steam rise from the mug, which I don't know if you can see on the camera. And then just taking a deep inhale. Maybe it's this moment for you that's the ritual. Maybe it's this moment here, that holding the kind of possibility that this cup of tea presents to you, that you haven't quite yet touched and kind of embraced. Maybe that talks to you in some way. Maybe it's a swirling of the tea bag 3 times and saying your mantra 3 times. Maybe it's a dunk of the tea bag, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. That's a ritual. Maybe it's the first sip. Maybe it's allowing the hot water to come down our throats, into our stomachs, and feeling that. Maybe that's the ritual. Maybe that's what we attach the mantra to. The meaning, the affirmation. Maybe it's just a word or an emotion. Maybe it's self-love. Maybe it's just an intention to take care of ourselves. That is self-care after all, right? So really enjoying now the cup of tea and embracing all the flavours, seeing if you can taste the flavours that you initially smelt in the tea bag, and really immersing yourself in the experience of it, not just kind of slurping away, getting on with work, but can we allow ourselves to have a couple of moments, the first 3 sips, say, with just us and our cup of tea in this moment right now, and our mantra, of course, or our affirmation. I hope this has given you some creative ideas. It can sound silly, but if we can, it doesn't have to be a cup of tea. It can be brushing your teeth. It could be the moment your head falls onto the pillow. Something routine that we do every day. We don't think about these habitual things, and we need habits in our lives to kind of run on and keep us going. But there's no reason why we can't, once those habits have been formed, and we need them. We need to brush our teeth. We need to get in the car to go to work, whatever. But there's no reason why we can't attach meaning to them and use those moments as ways to firstly be mindful, to anchor ourselves in the present moment and live a more mindful and conscious life, but also to be more meaningful and to create the things that we have consciously decided that we need or that we want to create for ourselves, and attach them to the less meaningful moments in order to kind of weave a web of meaning throughout our day and throughout our lives. So I've so enjoyed doing this course. It's been so much fun. I would love for you to reach out and get in touch with me. I'm on Instagram at Ali Roff, ALIROFF. You can go over to my website and check out some freebies and stuff there and get in touch with me there. That's www.aliroff.com. And yes, my book, The Wellfulness Project, is out in shops now on Amazon, Waterstones, everywhere really. So please do check that out if you've enjoyed the course, because that's where the ideas and the concept in this course have come from. If you're watching this and you enjoyed it, please do, and you're not a subscriber already, please do head over to Psychologies Magazine and subscribe to the magazine. You not only get issues sent to your door every month, or every 4 weeks it is actually, you also get access to this amazing online membership club which has so much to offer: online courses, an incredible forum, face-to-face meetups. There's just so much going on over there. So yeah, do come and join us and bring more meaning into your life and look after yourself, look within, create a better life for yourself. Thanks so much.